Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Wigan Fan TV. I'm joined this evening by David, Mark, and Matt. The four of us are on screen to preview the St Helens versus Wigan game. It's been an interesting. We've had 2 weeks off. Not a lot has happened, I guess, apart from the first French team to win the Challenge Cup, which has split opinion for some strange reason. Lots of us, particularly me, are really happy that Catalans won. And I've seen a lot of people with negative thoughts towards it. Mark, I'm going to come straight to you because you were at Wembley. Give us your reactions, first of all, to Catalans winning it and your thoughts on the game. We'll start with the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game. I thought Catalans played really well, particularly in the first half. I kind of got what we were going to expect from them. They were so urgent. They were so intense defensively, led by Macaulay and Casti and players that we kind of expected to lead that defensive line. I was really impressed by them. It was exactly the same as the semi-final experience for me in that I was going into it as a neutral. I was determined to be neutral, and then pretty much
possibly be neutral in that situation.
I was
it's impossible.
Catalan for a day. Yeah, but we're on the Super League pod this week. We had a Catalan fan join us to talk about their experience of the final and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I suppose I talk about it a lot there for about an hour.
Well, do you want to sort of tell us everything that we can expect on Super League pod while we're discussing that? I guess a lot about the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, well, me and Alan, who co-hosted the show this week, were both at the Challenge Cup, so we start by talking about the game. We get a guy called James, who's been a Catalan fan ever since he discovered the sport on a family holiday down in the south of France, on the show as well to go through his experience of the day. And then we get, towards the back end of the show, we also talk about our days at Wembley and all the other stuff around it. And of course, we predict that Wigan are going to beat St Helens as well along the way, as a spoiler for us all.
Naturally. David, you've been in France. You were just saying there was very much a shortage of rugby league media in the particular part of France where you've been. How important do you think that the win for Catalan is for French rugby league? And do you think that we as a sport can actually capitalise on it?
Yeah, we should be doing. Yeah, I mean, I was in the Midwest of France, so not any rugby league territory whatsoever. But I just think I've got a lot of friends in Warrington and Warrington fans, so I'm gutted for them. But on the bigger picture for the international game, I just think the profile.
Are you really? Yeah, are you really?
You might be watching. Yeah, I just think that it could be crucial. You've already seen sort of the images of the homecomings. You've seen the images of them.
It looks incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah, signing things everywhere. Obviously, we've had the tweet coming out about the parade and the cup in front of the Barcelona crowd at one of the games. Yeah. So that could be huge for not just French rugby league, but international rugby league. You couple it up with potentially, fingers crossed, with Toronto getting promoted, the profile of the game could be raised immensely just by not two little events, but two events this season, which we've probably never dreamed of before.
And the other news coming this week as well, that Red Star Belgrade have applied to be in the 2019 Challenge Cup. So Serbia away day, I don't know if that's as appealing as maybe Toronto or Perpignan away, but Red Star Belgrade are hoping to be in the 2019 Challenge Cup. And Mr Macaulay has been learning French this week.
No way.
Yeah. Matt, your thoughts on Catalan winning the Challenge Cup? I mean, I know you have been a little bit obsessed with everything French pretty much this season with your Navarrete obsession as well.
I'd personally, my own view is you can't not get behind a French team in the Challenge Cup just because of the history of French rugby league and what happened to French rugby league during the Second World War. And for that reason alone, I'm really excited about any developments in France. So I was absolutely over the moon, with the icing on the cake being that they beat Warrington. What's not to love?
I mean, that's one of the things I think the BBC coverage did really well was to get that history of French rugby league out to the viewing audience as well, and I think that added a new element to exactly what the event was and how much it did mean to French rugby league and those that have been there. I've
seen that league publish. Is it League Publications or whatever, the people that printed the Forbidden Game book that Mike Rylance wrote about the whole Vichy government shutting down rugby league, are thinking about doing a reprint now after this kind of turnaround and an interest in the whole story that the BBC has helped push and that the Catalan Dragons obviously have helped push. So that's really cool and interesting.
I mean, I think Dave Woods even gave that book a shout out as well, didn't he? So that's gonna help. Matt, if only you could get Dave Woods to give a shout out of your book. Actually, you've sold out now, I guess, have you?
I've got 3 copies left. That's it.
Let's move on to talk about, I guess, the club that we're here to talk about, Wigan. Obviously, we're in the lead up to the St Helens game. A victory for St Helens gives them the league leaders' shield. Mark, your thoughts on, first of all, the squad? And I know that we've spoken off air about, I was at training this week watching them, and I've told everybody that Manfredi is going to be playing, and then he's not in the squad. I'm still convinced that he's going to be playing. But O'Loughlin and Gildart are definitely back in the squad. Give me your thoughts on first of all, your thoughts on the squad and how you think that will line up, and do you think, after what I've said to you, that Manfredi will be playing or not, with him not being in the squad?
I hope so. It's a bit strange. I'm guessing from the squad they're going to go Escaré on the wing if they're not bringing anyone else back in.
Well, the other thing that was discussed is Gildart on the wing.
Right, yeah. I'd rather get Isa out of the centres and if at all possible. But then, did you say there's possibly question marks over Dan Sargent's fitness? He's in the squad though, so there's a positive there, and he's played actually pretty well when he's been given the go at that left centre spot that he played in before he left us. It's Kabula or Partington is going to be probably a question for every week. I just hope that whichever of them gets picked, and I'm reckoning Partington for this game, in the squad will stand up sufficiently that those two will keep being at the front of the queue for the rest of the season, because I'm really excited about both of them. So I think that's where the question is about who's going to miss out is I suppose in that position.
Yeah, David, your thoughts on that? I mean, just to sort of bring everybody up to scratch, I guess, with what I witnessed in training was Tom Davies playing on the right with Tom Davies playing on the left with Gildart in the centre, which is a change in itself with Davies being on the left, and then they were very much practising with Isa at right centre and Don Manfredi is the right winger, which, I mean, we watched a lot of sort of team runs going through, practicing kicking. A lot of it was defence based. They were very, very focused on the defence. But that was the team run. That's exactly the way that they were going. So I would still be very surprised. I know he's not in the 19 squad, but going off the news that we have, the player that looks the least fittest out of the players that are in the squad is O'Loughlin. I mean, he was limping all over the training pitch, but still participating in as much training as he possibly could do, which is incredible. And possibly, it's O'Loughlin. He picks and chooses, I guess, the games that he can possibly play. But David, your thoughts on the team and how important do you think it is to have Gildart back in the squad?
Yeah, I think Gildart gives us a little bit of balance in the squad, and obviously he's a natural centre. We've been playing, been struggling for centres this season with players being injured, and Bateman's filled in, Isa's filled in. O'Loughlin, like you just said, O'Loughlin's an interesting one because he's back in the squad all of a sudden, but it'd be foolish to risk him for this game. This game is not crucial in the grand scheme of things for the season. Obviously, we want to get a home semi-final, but we're still going to be, even if we lose and Cass win, we're still a point ahead of them. So I wouldn't risk O'Loughlin if he was anything like we've got enough cover in the back row. But yeah, the backs is going to be an interesting one because you can literally stick a pin in the names, and you can come up with probably 10 or 12 different combinations, just one of the ones that you've gone off as well in training. But yeah, for me, it's I hope they don't risk O'Loughlin unnecessarily this week. I hope if he's not fully fit, he holds his hand up and tells us that he's not fully fit, because it would be silly, I think, to waste him in this game.
There's an interesting comment there from Adam who says Manfredi on the bench possibly. It would be a different, tactical point of view to have a winger on the bench and maybe interchange him if Escaré was to go on the wing. Escaré obviously, Matt, went onto the wing when Liam Marshall did that unfortunate injury, which just there was nothing in it, and it looks like he's done his ACL. His leg was in a brace on Monday, when we were at training. With Steve McCormack saying that he's due for an operation next week, which is a massive shame. But Escaré on the wing scored 2 tries from the wing, and then we're talking about possibly bringing in another winger. Would you play Escaré on the wing, or his height worries me as a winger?
But he's a friendly snake, and sometimes you just need a friendly snake on the wing.
Context, please, Matt. Context.
Everybody knows that's his new nickname.
Okay.
Everybody.
The club's printing scarves with it on, banners. It's going to be all across the South Stand when we get to our next home game, isn't it? All these nicknames.
I should think so. The elasticated admin assistant, that's the one that's really caught on.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
That's who's printed all the banners.
I'd put Manfredi. Get Manfredi in there. He's an out-and-out winger. He's already back to his best. You said so, Sean. You told us this.
I've told it. I've told every man and his dog that he's playing. I've told every single person.
In 2 halves in the reserves games that he's played, so that's pretty decent going.
I mean,
yeah, honestly, get him in.
Yeah, I'm convinced he's playing. Unless they thought, right, he's coming and he'll be like doing a show and he'll be telling everybody that Manfredi's playing, and then really he's not going to play. And maybe I'm part of the ploy and we're just trying to put St Helens off. Maybe I'm being used, which is very, very likely, I guess. St Helens can obviously win the league leaders shield. Sam Tompkins came out this week with Phil Wilkinson and did an interesting interview I think was aimed at winding up the St Helens fans, and then wound up the Cast fans by sort of saying, I don't think Saints will do what Cast did last year. So he's managed to sort of annoy two of the 3 teams in the top 4. Mark, your thoughts on that? Do you view the league leaders shield as a major trophy? But if the table was turned on Friday night and you could win that, it's a completely different scenario, isn't it?
I view it as a major trophy. We've got 3 trophies in rugby league to go for. We haven't got like 7 or something like you could win in football or whatever. I don't know. But there's 3 trophies you can win, and it's real. Like, they've all got different value on them, haven't they? One of those trophies had real value, and it shows you the most consistent team over the course of the season, and it's something worth celebrating. Yeah, it's something worth celebrating to the right level that you can then get yourself focused. Just like the Challenge Cup final coming within the season is totally worth winning, but don't focus on it too much if you've got a grand final to go for, like people like Hull and Warrington maybe have accused of being in the past. So you should celebrate it. It is a fantastic trophy to win, but yeah, Cast fans probably ate out on it too much. One particular Cast fan that I know has not stopped saying they were the champions last year. But apparently this year, the champions will get crowned at Old Trafford. So pick it how you want. I think it's a great trophy, but it's not. It's one of 3.
I think that was well put, Mark, actually. I'm not going to ask David or Matt about that, actually. I like your answer.
Oh, right.
One of them to have a go. Let's get a bit of discussion.
Right, David, anything to go with that, David? I thought that was good, articulated answer.
I mean, Mark's right. It is one of the 3 trophies that you can win, so your class is a major trophy, but out of the 3, it comes last on the list every time for me. You might say it's the most consistent team, but again, it's not a level playing field because you're playing, some teams 2 or 3 times. So, yeah, for me, it doesn't get. I'm not gutted when Wigan miss out on the league leaders shield whatsoever. And I don't think it gets celebrated at Wigan like it did at Cast, for example. I don't think Saints would celebrate it too much. They might celebrate on Friday if they win it, and win it at Wigan, but I don't think they'd take much notice of it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't think big clubs celebrate it that much, do they?
No.
John Wilkins said on his show, like, when they won it, when they ran away with it, I think, was it 12 years ago now, and then they didn't win the grand final, and he was like, well, it meant nothing after we didn't win at that big game. So there's a lot of players at the big clubs as well who don't celebrate it the same. I think we shouldn't look down on it, but you're right. We'd rather have a grand final in one way.
See it differently. I've got
so you're managing to get your opinion in, aren't you?
I am, because it's important to me, not on the basis that, oh God, I'm gutted that Wigan won't be winning it. I'd be quite gutted if St Helens lift that trophy against us on Friday. I'd hate that. That would really niggle away at me. I'd much rather that it was delayed and they picked it up maybe against Catalan away. Then they could compare trophies and then we'd see how good they felt about it.
I mean, I think one of the big things with this year is I think it's the timing of when Saints can win the trophy as well. That probably means as much to them. They can lift it at the Totally Wicked Stadium. don't refer to it as Langtree Park, the totally wicked stadium, in front of Wigan fans. But then I guess for Wigan, it works two ways as well. You beat St Helens, you stop them from winning, you get a win over them, gives you confidence for hopefully when we play them in the grand final. You lose against them, you make them stand and you watch them pick up that trophy, and you get more motivation for when we hopefully again play them in the grand final. So it could be an interesting time for Wigan to actually be the team, I think, to be playing against them. One other piece of news well, not news, and anything that refers to Gareth Hock should not be treated as news. Gareth Hock, and that's all he deserves on the screen. Hock. Gareth Hock sent a tweet this week. Obviously, he's been released from Featherstone, saying 1 more year at Wigan, with a sort of emoji of a winky face. There can't be anything in this, but Matt, please tell me you wouldn't take Hock back for 12 months, would you?
Did you say winky face?
A winky face.
Winky face.
Is that not the official terminology for an emoji?
I don't know. I think I maybe just misheard you at first.
Yeah, I think you
Hock's
did.
Never coming back to Wigan.
But you didn't mishear me on Hock though, which is good.
No, there's no way he'd ever be allowed anywhere near that Wigan team again. Surely.
I mean, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Mark, he's burnt so many bridges.
Yeah, but some of those burnt bridges aren't going to lead to the club anymore, are they? So,
very good point.
He might have an option. Look, if he played for free and we didn't have to cover all his bans and his fines and his trips to Redall and that sort of stuff, it'd be fun to see what could happen. I wouldn't endorse it, but it could be funny, couldn't it?
No,
look, everyone who thinks we need like a shithouse big forward who's going to cause trouble, that's what that is. So if you go on a forum and post saying you want that sort of thing in our squad, that's exactly what you want. Gareth Hock embodies that. So which none of us do want that. None of us do write like that. We probably look at the game a little bit differently. But no, I wouldn't have him back.
Play my 9-week-old daughter because she has less tantrums than Gareth Hock does.
Yeah.
David, no. No. David, are you going to say yes?
I've heard he was best mates with Adrian Lamb, so there might be something. No, God, no. Yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, might be a laugh, just like Mark said. Might be a laugh to put him on the field and see him, wind Saints up in a game sometime. Just playing 1 week in that game, get a 10-match ban. It might be worth it, but yeah, I wouldn't take it seriously.
Andy Power was a laugh. Gareth Hock's not a laugh. I think he'll be well suited to Bradford or wherever he ends up.
Newcastle Thunder, I think.
Newcastle. Right. So he's coming up close to me. Brilliant. So I'm going to see him on a night out, am I?
Drinking buddies.
Good luck to that.
Hopefully he hasn't watched this, Sean.
Yeah, thankfully he hasn't watched it. Of all the people.
Gareth Hock, I love you.
Yeah. Matt, make sure you tweet him the link after the game.
It's all right. I'll edit it. That won't be it.
I think I got a picture of him at the Summer Bash, so I'm mates with him. What you want? No problem.
Right. Let's get on to the game on Friday. David, we're getting closer to a full strength side, I guess. Saints bring back Ryan Morgan and Luke Thompson, who got the strangest suspension of the season for celebrating. Saints obviously got a very strong side. The form of Ben Barber has been questioned a little bit. Yeah. Do you see this being Wigan's first victory over Saints this season?
Honestly, no. I can't see us winning on Friday. Might be a bit of a controversial point. No, I just something about it with them going for the league leader shield. I know it's important for us to win it to keep that gap between us and Cass, but I've just got a niggle inside me. I think that there's still something not right in the camp with Wayne. Obviously after the Catalan game, he was quite vocal in the press about the circus, as he put it, around Lamb and Edwards, and saying how well he thought the players did by coping with that. You could tell, Sky Sports panning to pictures of Radlinski and with Edwards and Lamb. I think that niggled with him. So there's something inside me. I think there's a little bit of fire gone out of Wayne at the moment. I think with him going, I think he doesn't. Whatever's gone on behind the scenes, he's not happy with. So previous years, I'd say we could, we'd be looking to win this one. But there's just a niggling doubt, and we're saying it's looking for the league leader shield. They'll be going all out to beat us on Friday and sort of get their season back on track.
Matt, you're Mr. Positive, so obviously you have Wigan winning, as I do. I think this is Wigan's first victory over Saints.
We've got everything going for us. I mean, for a start, it's a game back on Sky TV after the BBC Challenge Cup coverage, and that's a good thing. I've decided I prefer Sky's coverage because that BBC player mic sounds suspiciously like a night in with my wife. So we've got that. That's going for us. On top of that, we lost by 3 points the first time we played them. Then was it 8 points?
The second game was a strange one, though, wasn't it? Like
it was.
The weird thing about that second game kind of plays into what David was saying, that Wayne didn't even seem to care that much that we'd lost to Saints, which that's not what we normally get.
Because he was waiting for this game.
There we go.
Duh.
I want Matt to get back to his maths. Sorry. You know, we lost by 3 points and we lost by 8 points. I just wanted to see where that was going.
Yeah, what does that mean? What does that equate to?
It means the gap may seem to be getting bigger, but really, bearing in mind the personnel we had on the pitch, I don't know. I just think everything is stacked up. I've done some homework, right? And I've made a list of the St Helens danger men. These are the players we need to look out for. They are, I reckon, Lomax, Makinson, Morgan, Percival, Figgis, Roby, Amor, Taya, Wilkin, McCarthy, Scarsbrook, Douglas, Knowles. Hang on, did I say Wilkin? Not Wilkin.
You said McCarthy, Scarsbrook as well.
Not
He's
him. No.
Well, this year. I don't want to say it, but
I know. I still like it though when he gets angry.
Watch my mouth after, but he's playing well.
I know. They're all dangerous, aren't they?
Yeah, just
the whole squad, and I think we're going to rise to that challenge.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it like that, when you go through the squad, and then we've got Don Manfredi, who I'm saying is playing, who's not played for 2 years.
He is.
We've got Oliver Gildart, who's still got his thumb strapped up after having an operation. We've got Sean O'Loughlin, who's limping around the training field. We've got Dan Sargentson, who didn't do any training. He just did a fitness test for the whole session with Mark Bitcon. Yeah, we're going to win.
You're right, Sean. This has got the makings of a Wigan victory. Famous Wigan victory.
Absolutely. Mark, Mr. Sensible, do you want to bring us, give us some stats or give us some real belief that we can have a chance of
I haven't got anything tangible. I'm hard over everything else on this. I think we're going to win by 7. I think it is relevant to say Wayne won't want to lose his last derby game away at St Helens. Wayne won't want to do his press interviews while Saints are celebrating with a trophy, even if it's the third most valuable trophy or whatever you dress it up as. Yeah, he won't want that to happen. And I think there's a level of motivation that we can reach at the moment that Saints don't quite have at the moment. I think they're looking to time a swing back into performances where I think we're already doing a little bit better. And I think Gildart coming back in just gives us an attacking edge a little bit more. I think Joe Greenwood's link up with George Williams has, really improved. The golden edge will be on Song, I think, no matter who gets on that left wing spot. And I really hope Davies gets a chance out there. Because if Davies gets a chance out there, he gets to get some 150 metres a game, plugs his arse off, working so hard that he can do everything he can to help the team win and never gets a pass for a bloody try. If he goes on that
golden
left,
edge is on version 5 now.
I figured the thing out with Davies.
Doesn't exist.
It didn't matter when we had it was the most cobbled up golden edge I'd ever seen on the Catalan game, but we still scored all our tries down there. I just think that link up's working really well.
Golden Edge, which is featured in the Wigan Way fanzine.
There you go. There's your stats in there.
There you go. There's your stats. Get that right.
There you go. Golden Edge in there, and also in the Nan Summers catalogue.
25-18 to Wigan. I think Sam Tompkins will kick a drop goal at some point, but we'll win by 7.
Or Navarrete.
Oh, Navarrete, of course. David,
he still hasn't scored a try, has he?
No.
No,
he hasn't.
You wait. This weekend, Friday, that is when it's happening.
I want to be stood next to Matt when he scores.
I thought we were going to be in the press box when he scored. I was really worried. Navarrete was actually doing some extra fitness training at the end of the session. I think he was saying something about when he doesn't have a game at the end of he doesn't feel. I can't remember what he was saying because it was in French, obviously. But he was doing extra fitness at the end of the session. One of the funniest things actually from the training session was when they were doing tackling on the tackle pads, and Sammy Kabula had the tackle pad, and watching Sam Powell try to tackle Sammy Kabula was. I wish I would have videoed it. Honestly, the guy's 19 years of age and he does not go down. Like Tony Clubb was struggling to get him down. He is an absolute monster of a human being. David, you think Saints are going to win? Do you think it's going to be a comfortable win for Saints, or do you think we're going to sort of keep it close?
Yeah, it'll be a low-scoring one, I think. I don't think there's going to be a lot of tries in it this weekend, so maybe 16-10, something like that. I think it. Yeah, hopefully I'm wrong. I'll be happily wrong, but I've got a niggle inside me that I think we're gonna come short again.
You need to go to the doctors for that niggle. Matt, before I'm assuming you've got something for Macaulay's moment, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've got something. So one thing I did say, and everybody that's got a message tonight about the show being live, is that I had a surprise for you, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I had a surprise for you. So one thing I've got...
Slightly.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So what I've got for you is Romain Navarrete's shirt, his actual shirt.
Wow!
From last season, which I'll post down to you.
It is true!
It is actually his actual shirt because it's got his heritage number on. I don't know if you can see.
Does it smell French?
Well, it does smell, is what I'm going to say. So it's not being washed. It's not being washed. It's Navarrete's shirt. I haven't got it signed because I didn't know if you wanted to wear it unwashed without it being signed. It's got like the GPS pouch on the back, just to, if you want to put a GPS in there while you go for a walk. Who wouldn't? But yeah, there you go. So
that's amazing.
It wasn't stolen from training. Wow. If anybody is looking for a Romain Navarrete jersey at Orrell, it wasn't lifted. But yeah, there you go. So there's a nice.
So how did you come by it? What did you have to do?
Yeah, well, Macaulay's moment.
That's amazing.
I'll post it down to you. So, but if you do want to get it signed or anything like that, I'm sure we can sort it out. But I thought you might want to wear it, and it's yours. We don't want to know what happens with it, but it's there waiting for you to.
Can we all get one from our favourite players?
Oh, right. If your favourite player is me,
I want Liam Farrell.
You want Liam Farrell?
The trick is, Mark, choose a player who's round about the same size as you.
Liam Farrell drop goal every week.
I'm assuming this is your wife, Matt.
Oh dear.
He's going to sleep.
Yeah, that's my wife.
Sarah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sarah. To be honest with you, I think it's probably not been worn. It doesn't smell that bad. Just it is very, very Frenchy. David, who's your favourite player? I know we had this thing. When you're saying, is it your daughter who had anybody who were favourite players? Did they leave or?
Yeah. So Matty Smith followed by John Bateman. So yeah, whoever she picks next season, just put your money on them departing. I don't think it's a direct relation to them being a favourite player. O'Loughlin's just been there and done it for so long, and he came in at a difficult time when we were just sort of on the way down. He's led us to some great triumphs. So yeah, you can't pick anyone else really.
I mean, if you pick somebody who's a little bit sort of lower down the pecking order than Farrell or O'Loughlin, it might have been a bit easier, like Navarrete. But yeah, well done, guys. Surprising Sam Tompkins and John Bateman. Matt, over to you. Macaulay's Moment, sponsored by All Seasons Gardening in Maryport. It's very, very important to remember that it is in Maryport. Over to you, Matt.
That's right. Okay, well, I better bling up again.
Oh God, does this mean that there's a wrap on the way?
There is a wrap.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, here we go. Me. 3, 2, 1, be cool. And I'm a Wigan man, and we should be at our best. The Saints are gonna hit the fan when they face the burning chest. It may be quite a tussle, but they won't laugh or cackle at the hideous muscle and his impressive tackle. 'Cause we're the real thing, we ain't no fakes. Just hear the faithful sing when we see the friendly snake. Manfredi is coming back, and he's all fine. He'll be Barber in attack over the white lines. Blown away. We've got Sam at the back, Club and Benny in the pack, blockers pulling all the strings, and Batty will attack. So strap yourself in for the best derby yet. You just know we're going to win because we've got Navarrete. So put your hands in the air, let me hear you say. We're going to beat the Saints because we play the Wigan way. Put your hands in the air, let me hear you say. We're going to beat the Saints because we play the Wigan way. Out.
Well done, Matt. And to think your wife's watching.
Soon to be ex-wife.
I mean,
I've got that feeling.
If Saints weren't worried, they better be now. I mean, that is
Now they are.
yeah. Now the lads are going to be up for it. I might send that over to the club and make sure they play that before they go out.
That'll fire them up like nothing else.
Yes, that's one way. Stephen says give it some. I think he's giving it everything, Stephen, to be honest, and some more. Guys, thank you very much. So we've got David, you said a close game. Mark, you've given us a score prediction. Mark, go on, you give us a score prediction. Obviously, Navarrete drop goal is a given.
Yeah, 19-16 to Wigan.
19-16, I like it.
Yeah.
22-16 to Wigan, I'll go. But I think we're going to win, and we'll take it from there. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for joining us, Mark, David, Matt, and we'll see you next week at some point for Wakefield at home. Thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers.